Hey YouTube, I'm sorry if you left me a comment or a personal message on either Tuesday or yesterday. I went up to Chicago on Tuesday with my dad and my uncle for a day trip, so I was playing catch up all of yesterday and so far this morning to try and get back to all of you. But I wanted to show you guys what I did get up there because it's pretty exciting. It's this little Dr. Doom sticker. It's all green and sparkly, and I got it for 50 cents at my Polish market up there. So hopefully that will make up for some of the lateness because it's just that cool. Now, my last two videos I gave you the test of coming up with a question that you would like to ask me, and a lot of you came up to the task. So I decided I would answer them as well as show you what comics I got yesterday before I do my review of them tomorrow. Now, a really popular question that a lot of you asked me was how many titles do I get a month? It kind of fluctuates, basically because I'm in college and I'm kind of on a very small budget. But yeah, I try and get as many as I can. I think I got 15, 16, maybe 17 in the last month. But that was also because of the whole Battle for the Cal tie-ins and stuff like that. So I try and get like somewhere between 15 and 20 if I can. Another question a lot of you asked was, who do I think is going to be the villain in the next Batman movie? Now, I'm about 99.999% sure that Warner Brothers is going to be making a third Batman movie. But I think the real question is whether Christopher Nolan's going to be directing it. Even as of late, Christopher Nolan's been really secretive and like subliminal messages about whether he wants to do a third movie or not, which kind of makes me worry because his decision on whether he's going to return is going to determine Christian Bale's as Batman as well, which is... So if he doesn't come back, I can see Warner Brothers either going in two directions. On the first hand, they could get a director that wants to live up to Christopher Nolan's goal with this reboot of grounding it in reality and trying to live up to the comic book as much as possible. On the other hand, I can see Warner Brothers doing what they did when it came to Batman Forever and Batman and Robin and give it to the worst director in the entire world. But if Christopher Nolan does decide to come back, or if there's a director who is in the same mindset as him, I can definitely see the Riddler being probably the most obvious choice, as well as Catwoman. I know Catwoman's been going around a lot. I know a lot of people have been suggesting that they're going to have both the Riddler and Catwoman in the third one, but I think by what was set up at the end of Dark Knight, the third movie should be focused mostly on the idea of Batman being a villain of Gotham in the mindset of Gotham civilians. Dealing with that and two villains might be a little bit too much for one film. I don't know. I would probably just choose one, and personally I would rather see the Riddler. Now if they have Joel Schlumbacher Jr., who knows? We could like go to Mad Hatter territory, which would be a very sad day. And from that callous of a question, we're going to go into the next one, which is, if the Riddler is in the third movie as the main villain, who would you like to see play him? Now, I know the rumor is that Johnny Depp's either going to be replacing Heath Ledger or is going to be playing the Riddler in the third movie, which I don't think is going to happen at all. And I really don't want it to happen at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, Johnny Depp is a great actor. But I don't see Christopher Nolan going in that direction of getting a majorly known name to play one of the villains. I mean, that was part of the greatness of Heath's performances. When he was cast, everyone was like, "What? The guy from Knight's Tale? Are you kidding me?" It was that surprise and the ability for the actor to come in without that much of a stigma behind his name that I think really allowed Heath to make the best performance that he could. That being said, personally, I would love to see David Tennant as the Riddler. I think he would be amazing and would completely own the role because he has the ability to be both a psychopath as well as a major narcissist, which is what Edward Nygma is when it comes down to it. Now, if you don't know who David Tennant is, he's the current Doctor on Doctor Who, and he also played Barty Crouch Jr. in Harry Potter 4. So just imagine Doctor Who and crazy son guy mixed together, and that's my Riddler pretty much. Next question is, when did you get into comics? That is kind of an interesting question. See, my last name is Clark, and when I was just a barely known about fetus, my dad thought it would be funny to name me Kent if I turned out to be a boy, and that was something he was adamant about until I was born lacking boy parts. So yeah, I would have been named Kent Clark if I was a boy. So I think pretty much since I've been in the womb, I was destined to love comic books. It also doesn't really help that I've been in a family that has lived through the end of the golden age of comics and the height of silver age comics, as well as bronze and now modern. So I could not escape it no matter what I would have wanted to do. Okay, someone asked, who would win in a fight, you or Blair Butler? If you don't know who Blair Butler is, she does a little segment on G4 where she reviews comic books, and she's pretty much the coolest, nerdiest girl in the entire world. So if I ever had a chance to meet Blair Butler, I would probably just worship the ground she walked on. So I don't really want to get into a fight with Blair Butler, but if I had to, if we're talking about like a physical fight, I could probably take her. I could probably take her. But if we're talking about just like a coolness fight, like who's cooler, she would kick my ass. It's really sad, but it's true. The next question, which a couple of you asked me, was, do you have a boyfriend? And unfortunately the answer is no, I do not currently have one. So yeah, those were my first set of questions. If you guys have any more, if you guys didn't get a chance to ask them, or if they just pop into your little noggins, I would love to do another one of these. So make sure to leave a comment with them or send me a message or something with it, and I'll do another one once I get enough questions. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to show you what comics I got yesterday at my old stomping grounds comic book shop that I haven't been to in like a long time. So it was nice to come back, especially because it's a big store. So like they have titles that are kind of oldish now. They're a couple weeks old. So if you miss something, you can get it, and it will usually be there. Like this one, I got the first I Am Legion. I did a review of the second one, but I wasn't really sure what was going on because I didn't have the first one. But it's totally awesome, and I'm really excited to read this one, so I know everything. Of course, I got Dark Avengers number 3, because this is probably one of my favorite Marvel titles right now, so I'm really excited to read this too. Supergirl number 39? Yeah, 39. I'm not really that excited to read this one, but it'll give me something to do. Despite the fact that me and Spidey aren't really on speaking terms right now, I still got his number 588, as well as a little extra thing that they had this week too. I don't really know what this is all about, but hopefully he's not going to let me down, because then there's going to be problems. And finally, we got the Azrael tie-in, the first of 3, Azrael Death's Dark Knight, which I've read, and I'm really excited to review this one because I know a bunch of people were wondering who the Batman at the end of Battle for the Cowl was, and I'm pretty sure from what we've seen in this comic, it's not Azrael, which leads to suggest that even more that's Jason. Thanks to everyone who keeps watching my videos and who subscribed. If you haven't, if this is your first time viewing my video, then there's a nifty little button that just is asking to be hit by your little mouse cursor. So do it a favor, hit it, and in return you get to see all my new videos. I mean, that is the deal of the century, pretty much. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for my review of the comics I just showed you, as well as I think I'm going to be doing my initial thoughts of Dark Avengers and Secret Warriors and what I think is in store for both of these great Marvel titles. If this video has inspired any questions that you're just itching to ask me, leave them in the comments and I will get back to you with an answer in a video as soon as I can. And I'll hopefully see all of you again tomorrow for my weekly review. So until then, bye!
Superhero, team up, cowboy secret spy, true love, super villain, 2 in 1, bad guys are taking over Washington. Don't be.
See, this is what you gentlemen don't have to worry about with your videos, is your boobs popping out.